Hey solos. So I went to Walt Disney World all by myself for one night, and I want to tell you all about it. Hi everyone, it's Samantha. Olaf may not know who Samantha is, but now you do, and welcome to Disney Solo Magic, the #1 podcast for solo travel to Disney World. I am recording this in the airport while my flight is coming, so you might hear some background noise and stuff like that. My flight is delayed by 4 hours. That's good. I'm a night owl, so 1 a.m. is my usual bedtime, so I'll be boarding a flight at that time. So I spent the day at EPCOT, and I took an Uber right from EPCOT to the airport. I was actually going to go to a resort and just hang out there, and then I thought, whatever. I mean, so what am I going to do at the resort? Yes, it'd be more comfortable, but anyway, I just went right to the airport, and so I recorded voice messages all through the day and I put them together. Well, uh, yes, in past tense, but it was actually future tense from when I'm recording this. I will be putting them together and you will be listening to them as a coherent podcast episode right now. And I want to tell you all about my day at the Epcot Festival of the Arts. I posted a ton of pictures on Patreon for both free and paid members. I do that for the trips because, one, it's a little bit more privacy. Two, it's just a place to keep things organized with a stable link, and that way you don't know you have to go through Instagram, especially because I haven't been uploading. So I hope you enjoy the episode. It's like a series of, 1-minute voice messages. There's a lot of background noise and all that stuff, but hopefully you get the ambiance of Epcot. It was just a really good day. And, I was saying that I was kind of, weird about my December trip. And I think it was just because I was semi-solo. So I also wanted to put up my December episode for you on Tuesday. I wanted to go on Tuesday, but I didn't have the internet all weekend because of the snowstorm. So that's why I didn't get up for you. What else? Okay, so yes, there's pictures on Patreon. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. You can listen to this on Apple, Spotify, and on YouTube. If I was so inclined, I'm definitely not. Or if I had someone to do it for me, it'd be really great to put all the pictures together. I don't even know why I'm saying this. So YouTube is just sound like this. But you can see the pictures on Patreon. Is there anything I want to let you know before we get into the episode? Again, the sound won't be very clear or consistent, but it's okay. Oh, yes, I remember. So, the first day, my day 1, I just did a quick message with some pictures and I put that up on Patreon for free and paid member. So, if you want to go and watch that little video recapping my first day, seeing my delicious food, then you can do that. So this is just for my Epcot day, the whole trip. You can piece together yourself on those 2 Patreon blog posts, I guess, and the links to those are below. And again, just become a free member or a paid member for a free trial or whatever. And actually, I do just want to shout out Patreon for this particular episode because I asked the paid Patreon members to vote on some things I should try at the festival. And I realized while I was there, I think I mentioned this right away, that not only did they vote, but because of the support from Patreon, actually, they kind of funded the food festival part of the trip, and that felt really special. So I just really want to thank you all for the support. Big shout out to the Patreon members, and yeah, become a member. Become a member, and it's great to be able to be able to plan and do different things because of just a small little income stream coming in that kind of supports those activities. And it's really inexpensive, and it it felt really good and it went really far on this trip. So, okay, let's get into it. Hey solos, I'm at Epcot. It's 11:30 on Tuesday and I'm very excited. Sorry about any extra sounds or my heavy breathing. I am walking from the bus to the entrance and I am totally into it. So on Patreon, there's a little video summarizing my first day. It's for free and paid members, so go check it out. This is going to be a day of Festival of the Arts. I'm going to eat. I'm going to art. I'm going to art and eat, etc., until about 7 o'clock when I have to get an Uber from Epcot to the airport. So fun. I have my backpack, which is all I brought for the trip with me. So I don't need to go back to the hotel. Very excited about that. And if you're panicked because I said it's 11:30, don't worry. That was my plan. Again, you might have a different plan on your solo trip. That's fine. You do you, bibbity bobbity boo. I like the food festival booths. There you go. Don't open till 11, and I really want to make it to the end. So I just thought, don't rush in the morning. Mornings are my thing to begin with, so don't rush in the morning. And yeah, I'm here. It is chilly. It's sunny, and it really feels like, for those of you who experience like winter, like we do in Canada, it feels like one of those days at the end of winter, early spring, where you're like, oh my God, is the summer here? Can I wear my shorts? What we call the false spring. So I do have like an extra hoodie and gloves and coat and everything with me, but I'm going to use a locker and put my backpack and all my extra stuff in the locker. What I learned on my way here, and I'm excited to try it and let you know about it, is that the lockers, you can go in and out all day. So that was great. That was ideal. So I was like, great. Well, I'll put the extra sweatshirt, I'll put the extra coat, and when I need it, I'll go and get it. And then I don't need to like carry around all of my stuff for the rest of the day. I do have a tote bag with my food festival tray, which I'm excited to use. What else? Well, I'm so excited. I'm so excited I came. If you watch the video on Patreon, you know that I was really anxious on my way here because of the snowstorm and because of all the politics stuff and all that stuff. But I am glad I'm here. I'm excited to have a good day and can't wait for you to join me. So unsurprisingly, I got stopped at security because I have my suitcase, and that's cool. I mean, you know, they're doing their job, but because I basically had my suitcase, I with dirty clothes and extras of clean clothes, and ladies might know what I'm talking about. I was like, can I get a female security guard to go through my bag rather than a male one? And they were like, yeah, of course. And so, just a reminder to just ask. So if you're uncomfortable with, again, a male security guard going through your stuff, just ask, and there's a female security guard who can help you. I went from the Grand Floridian Spa back to Magic Kingdom, and you have to go through security, not on this trip, but another trip, and I had my bathing suit and, like, spa stuff, and, like, I didn't ask. I actually didn't care that the man was going through it. I think probably because I was very relaxed after the spa, but also like he didn't care, and he was very professional, and it was fine. So today I wanted a woman, got a woman, and it was totally fine. Heading to the lockers now, and yeah. Okay, so how the lockers work is that it doesn't take any cash. When you get to the room where the lockers are, you would use a credit card and you would put it in, and I'll tell you the next part in a second. But what if you don't have a credit card? Like, I have a credit card, but I don't have like the hard copy to like put in the machine. I only have it on Apple Wallet. So you can go to the little store that's attached to the area. This, I'm talking about EPCOT, but this is the same with all the parks. And you can buy a coupon. And so I used my Magic Band to buy a coupon, and they give you a little chit. And then you go to the place where you would put your credit card in at the locker rental place, and you put in the code for paying. And it was very straightforward. On the little kiosk where you're now like paying or putting your code in to pay for the locker, they ask you for a password. Okay, I'm telling you this because it was really tricky. They ask you to put in a 4-digit password. So I did, and then it said put it in again, and I noticed that the numbers were in a different order, and I was like, oh, did I think that the numbers were in this order? So I put it in again, and they were like, nope, the wrong one. And so reset, and then I saw that the numbers were in a different order again. So they're being tricky. So pay attention to the numbers, not just the position of your hands when you're putting in the password. So I figured that out because I'm a mid-40s woman, and I then went to my locker. It assigned me one, and I went and put my stuff in. So there are 3 sizes of lockers: regular, large, and extra large. Extra large is only available at Magic Kingdom and EPCOT, according to my research. It's $10, $12, and $15. So I got an extra large, even though I did not need it. You can see the picture on Patreon. I put for free and paid members. I do that as a stable place for the pictures of a trip, rather than Instagram that kind of is constantly moving, and I don't know when you're listening to this, so you don't have to dig. So I got an extra large. I didn't need it. I already kind of knew that, but it was only $3 American more than the large one. And I thought if I got an extra large one, when I came back to like get my coat or change into a different sweatshirt or whatever, because it's chilly today, that I might want a little like platform, like a little table to organize my stuff. And so I just thought that extra $3 American was worth it. But it's such an incremental, if you were like, oh, I don't know if regular or large, like it's only $2 more. So whatever. I've never rented a locker at Disney before. It was super, super convenient. And like I said, I learned I can go in and out all day, which is wonderful. So if I need my coat or I buy a souvenir or whatever, I know it's there, and I'm very happy about that. All right, the sun is out. Let's go eat stuff. Oh, I should say, so we're here for the Festival of the Arts. Super excited. I need to go get a passport. Oh, and take a picture in front of all the stuff. But I asked Patreon members, the paid members, to identify some things they want me to try. So I will be trying foods, talking about them, and giving a shout out to the Patreon members who, I guess with their membership, their Patreon, money essentially paid for them. So it's really great. Actually, thank you everyone. That's so nice. I didn't think of it that way, but heart hands emoji. All right, bye. I also want to remind everyone, this might be relevant if you're making a decision about a locker, that the weather underneath Spaceship Earth is not the same as any of the other weather at EPCOT. It is rainier, it is windier, it is colder, it traps weather in there like it's nobody's business. So when I left All Stars, I was very comfortable in my outfit. Walking under Spaceship Earth, I'm like, wow, I'm very cold. And then as soon as you get away from that area, it's like back to normal temperature. So just a reminder about that. All right, so dish one. Okay, so first, actually, the episode next week is with the Dapper Danielle about her Epcot book, and I asked her what her favorite thing to do at Epcot. Well, not the favorite thing, but one thing that she recommended for solos. And she's like, just sit in the Communicore area, like a book or your phone, and just relax. And so actually, I went over to that very area and I got my little passport out and the pen that I stole. Did I mention that to you? The pen that I didn't steal it. It's one of their free pens when you're like we have to sign your name at a restaurant, sorry. And I planned out my whole menu. So my first stop was at Deconstructed Dish. Now I wasn't going to stop here, but Jeff on Patreon and a friend of the podcast, he's done 2 episodes now, he said I would try this, but you don't have to. But here's the thing, Jeff and others, I have tried this and I loved it. So I have tried this twice before. Every time I've been to the Festival of the Arts, 2 other times, I've tried this. The first time, my favorite. The second time, I didn't like it because I'd been sitting there for a while. So it was kind of old and crusty. So I was like, I'm not going to try it this time. But I did enjoy it. And because Jeff said, I'm going to try it. And then I got the deconstructed mint julep, which I'm totally into because it came with a souvenir cup. So it's kind of the perfect thing to start off with because it's kind of brunchy. A BLT, the mint julep, and then a souvenir cup. Love it. Love it so far. I make excellent, this was Jeff's decision, but I make excellent decisions. I'm so happy to be here. All right, so Deconstructed Dish is down. It was delicious. So the deconstructed BLT was as good as I remembered the first time. And I did see one sitting at the window when I got there, and I was just going to be like, can I have a fresh one? I was a little conflicted about that because that seems a little like fancy, but I didn't have to. They were making fresh ones by the time my turn was up. But yeah, I would recommend getting one fresh. So I don't really eat a lot of pork. I stay away from it, but I have, a lot of exceptions. So it's really good if you have it without the pork, if you also don't really eat pork. And if you, it's also easy to just like not eat the pork if you were into that. I don't even know the bread that it was in. It was delicious. Not in, but beside. The poached egg was perfect. The ketchup chutney was delicious. It was great. It was really yummy. And the strawberry mint julep, I got the non-alcoholic version. It comes with like a little syringe, is that the right word? Where you like squeeze the strawberry puree on top of the ice that's on top, and it's very good. Sometimes I find with some of the non-alcoholic drinks that they're quite expensive and you're not getting that much. I feel that at the like Japan pavilion when I've gotten like an $8 non-alcoholic drink, and but this is actually delicious and well worth it, and I'm going to be carrying it around with me. I have my handy little tray, so that won't be a problem, and we'll see what's next. I think it's going to be, anyway, we'll see what's next. Hey y'all, okay, so I just did Mexico. I have the tostada with crab and a taco, which was recommended. Okay, I'll tell you, so many okays. I don't usually get stuff at the Mexico pavilions during the food festivals. Not because I don't like Mexican food, quite the opposite actually. Because I do, and because so many other people do. The lines are usually too long that I'm like, it's not worth waiting in line. So I went to go get some chicken and waffles at the Imagination Pavilion or Odyssey or whatever, but that was a long line, and I came outside to the sun and there was no line at the Mexico one, so I was so happy. So I got the crab tostada and the taco. They were both really good. The taco, I would say, is like not quite worth the money. It was delicious, but it tasted like tacos that I've had when they are like in a Mexican restaurant by Mexican people. So like good, 100% good. But if there was a big long line and for the cost, I'd be like, it's okay. The crab tostada was very yummy and very interesting, and like more worth the money for sure. But it's cold. It's cold right now at Disney, so it was kind of a surprise to actually have something cold. But I think it would be like even better when it was super, super hot. So that's really interesting, something worth trying. I also was going to because I'm just enjoying my day here, I was going to do all the rides I could if it worked. So I wanted to do the ride in Mexico and look around and all this stuff. But as I had this beautiful place in the sun eating my tostada and taco, I'm looking at the pyramid in Mexico, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to wait until the evening when it gets a little bit colder, the sun is not as high in the sky, and that's when I'll do anything that is indoor. So I'm just going to keep walking. There's General Tao, Bun, and China, so I'm going to check that out.
There.
Hey, I hope you got to hear that. That was Marche Cobre, who has been the same mariachi band since EPCOT opened 43 years ago. I mean, I'm sure it's not all the same guys, because at least one guy definitely does not look 43. But it's really nice to have the continuity, and I stayed after and got a selfie with all of them, and obviously they're very fun, nice guys, so enjoy. Thinking about why I'm more open to doing different things today, or not doing my standard things. And I think because as this kind of like stolen, quick solo trip. Like it wasn't one that I planned, and it's only one day, and so it feels very kind of furtive. That I really just want to like enjoy every minute rather than rushing through every minute, because I don't have a lot more. And I should say too that the fact that it's not as hot out has helped a lot, because I'm not fighting with the heat. So an argument for coming in January or February when it's not quite as hot. Hey, okay, so I just got something at the Painted Panda China Pavilion. So I don't often get things at that food station either at food festivals, because a lot of the Chinese food here at EPCOT is very Americanized Chinese food. So Chinese food doesn't have the same type of, traditional Chinese food doesn't have the same type of flavor profiles, texture profiles, all that stuff. So all the sweet, crunchy, all that's all Americanized. So I usually just kind of skip it because you can get a lot of that type of food at your food court at the mall. But they had a General Tao, I can't remember what it's called. I can't pronounce it, I should say. That's better. And I thought, let's try that. It sounds kind of interesting. So if you like General Tao chicken, then you probably like the fact that it's fried, that it's sweet, that it's, all that stuff that Americans and Canadians, North Americans, Westerners like. This was not like that at all. And that's not an insult, actually. What this was is basically dim sum. So it was, or another way to think about it is if you like wonton soup, it was like that, but full of chicken, and it's open. So it was really tasty. You got 3 of them. I really enjoyed them. I enjoyed it way better than just a regular General Tao chicken, because it tasted more authentically like Chinese food. It tasted like dim sum if you were going to go there for brunch. And I really, really enjoyed it. Plus they were playing A Girl with Fighting For on the speakers, and it was a rendition that was with a Chinese instrument that was with strings. Anyway, it was a vibe. Full sun, eating on a trash can, 10 out of 10. Just wonderful. So I would recommend that, but not if you like General Tao chicken. If you like dim sum, if you like chicken wontons, for sure. You can get it if you like General Tao, but just know that's not what it's going to taste like. Okay, it's 1:15 right now. I want to head over to America because they have 2 animation drawing things during the day, during the Festival of the Arts. They don't usually do that at EPCOT. One at 12:30 and one at 1:30. And as long as there's no line, I'll probably get to the 1:31. So let's go. Hello. Okay, so I was able to get to the Animation Academy, I think that's what it's called, on time. It was in the pavilion where the concerts were, so I wasn't super worried about getting a seat because they're so busy. So we were drawing Pluto. Mine looks just like the guys. It definitely does not. And I'm listening to parents and adults and kids and stuff behind me, and they're complimenting the art. And I was hearing adults, parents, or aunts and uncles or whatever, really hyping up the kids, oh my god, that's so good, that's so good. And then if I heard a little kid voice being oh, I like yours too, and then the adult immediately was oh no, it's not that good. It probably wasn't that good. But I just was thinking about we, I think as adults with kids in our lives, really do a good job of ensuring that we give them a lot of positive reinforcement. But also what is important is that they know that we give ourselves positive reinforcement, right? To be oh, thanks, I thought it was good too, those messages that adults are allowed to say, no, it's not good, I'm just going to give up, I think is really foundational to how young people start understanding themselves and risk and things like that growing up. So doing it by myself today, I haven't done it in years because I'm not that good at it. I was thinking, I was in my brain, I was giving myself messages I would give a child, and then really just paying attention to the inner dialogue of what I was saying to myself about what I was doing when I was doing that. And then the animator was it's not a big deal, it's just a sketch, you can do it however you want. And just how don't know if I'm making any sense, but it's a real lesson in parenting yourself, I guess, but also just being open to what you allow yourself to do and experience, and what you allow yourself to do. Like, I have a family member, and she was saying how when she was in grade 4, she couldn't draw a horse like a classmate of hers could, and from that, oh boy, just saved it me. And from that, she told herself when she was in grade 4 that she wasn't an artist, even though this woman is very, very artistic. And so, like, what are the messages that we give ourselves? How do we limit what we think that we can or cannot do based on who we understand ourselves to be? Like, how can we just push that? And I think Disney is such a good place to push the boundaries of who you can be and what you can do, especially when you're here solo, because you don't have other people either giving you these messages about you don't usually do those things. So it's my Pluto may not have been that great. It actually looked quite a lot like Blue from Jungle Book, but I actually learned quite a lot about, just being open to different possibilities and different ways of understanding yourself. I then went over to the food booth at America to eat their lobster crab salad, and then their sirloin, peppercorn sirloin, which was also recommended from somebody on Patreon. Thank you so much, because I wouldn't have got that normally. I'm not really like a meat and potatoes type of gal on the regular, especially living by myself. I would never make myself a roast beef. That's an actual name for it. So, big thank you to the Patreon member who recommended that, because the beef was delicious. The asparagus was really nice and crispy. And then there was some sort of gratin potato thing that was to die for. It was so, so delicious. The lobster Caesar salad was good. It was a good portion. I really think that it changes a lot based on when you get it. So there were a lot of Caesar salads that were already prepared, and I could see that they just all looked a little bit different. I think it would be really great if you were here and it was hot, because the lobster Caesar salad is very, very cooling. So I enjoyed both of them. I'd recommend. I sat with a really nice mom and her son, and they had the flourless chocolate cake, and the mom was like, "You're definitely missing out on this one." So maybe I'll come back. I don't think I've had anything. I haven't had any desserts yet. So I have some on my list still, but that will be one I'll go back for. It was really nice. She was very nice. It was very nice to talk with her, but she was like, "Is this your first time?" And I was like, "No." And it was interesting because I didn't know why she was asking me that, so I felt initially kind of insulted. And I was like, "Samantha, don't be so rude." And then I said, "Is it your first time?" And she's like, "Yeah, it is." And I was like, "Right, don't be insulted. That's so crazy." She's like, "Oh, how many times have you been?" Quite a few. So, okay, so I'm in Japan now. There are a couple things I want to get here. I am feeling kind of full after the beef and the lobster Caesar salad. There's a little toddler here who's wearing the same sweater I'm wearing right now from Old Navy. So, hashtag Old Navy. Okay, great day. Hello. Just finished Japan, walking through Morocco right now. So, first, I saw a reel that showed a secret bathroom in Japan that is all the way at the back, outdoors. So if you, the bathroom's not outdoors, but if you go all the way up where there's other seating for the restaurant, there's a little hidden bathroom there with only 3 stalls, and it's not on the map. There was a little bit of a line, but whatever. It was better than the super long lines of the other bathrooms. And then I went into the store, the Japan store, and got a green iced tea, which is a Japanese drink. So they have a cooler in there of different Japanese sodas and things like that if you want to try something a little bit different. And then I went to the food booth and I got a sushi donut. Shout out to Patreon for that one. Although, that's definitely a favorite. And then the kawaii roll. So the kawaii roll, kawaii is cute culture in Japan. There's actually a whole kawaii exhibit in the Japan Pavilion. It was a tempura roll that had blue and pink rice. So that was a miss. It's basically a tempura roll, really nothing that's spectacular about it. The sushi donut is always a favorite. If you like the raw fishness of sushi, then you're gonna love the donut. It's always so good. And I had my iced tea with it, which is wonderful. And it's about 3 o'clock now. I'm actually meeting up with somebody who I have met through, not the podcast actually, through the Facebook group, and then we have like seen each other a few times when we're here. We always seem to have like corresponding trips, which is wonderful. And we're gonna paint the wall together. And then I think I need some caffeine. And I was like, where can I like sit indoors and take a little bit of a power nap? And then I thought, living with the land. So we'll see after the wall painting whether or not I take a little nap on living with the land. All right, see you later. Hello. So it is, what time is it? It's 4:15. I'm feeling a little tired. Okay, so I met up with a friend who I met through, like I said, the website and stuff. We're still trying to get her on the website, on the podcast. And we did the little painting, the figment painting squares thing. It was fun. It was kind of busy there, actually. And it also just felt like there was a lot of waste. I don't know. It was good, but I just wish it could be other things. I guess I just wish it was the my own one-on-one painting experience, which I had in December, and you'll hear about that soon. And then after that, she and I walked over to the Odyssey. Is that what it's called? Yes, the Figment Inspiration Station at the Odyssey, and I tried the popcorn chicken and waffles with rainbow popcorn chicken, mini mozzarella, and maple syrup. And this was because Rachel on Patreon wanted to know what it would taste like with all the food coloring. So let me tell you how it tastes. So it is a cone that's a bubble waffle. I don't know if you've ever seen those before. They do have bubble waffles at Disney Springs. Maybe you've seen them before. So they make a bubble waffle. They put that in a cone, and then inside the cone, they have popcorn and chicken, a popcorn chicken. So the chicken itself there isn't any food coloring. It is just like quite large pieces of chicken. Like, I don't go to fried chicken restaurants that much, but last time, I guess I'm thinking of popcorn shrimp, actually. It's much, much bigger than popcorn shrimp. So they're quite large pieces of chicken. And then, chicken and waffles usually have maple syrup with it. So the batter that's around the chicken has maple syrup in it. And so everything looks dry because of that, but actually the chicken and the syrup feels very, very moist. And then it's the popcorn that has the food coloring on it. And I don't know if you've ever it's like caramel popcorn, but with coloring on it. So those of you who know kernels, hey, Canadians, Ontarians, maybe Canadians as well. It's just like it tastes, it doesn't taste as good as the kernels colorful popcorn, but there's absolutely no taste to the food coloring at all. I got these cupcakes once. A friend was like starting a business for baking, and there were these red cupcakes, and it was just chalky how much food coloring was in it. These chicken waffles, you can't like taste any extra food coloring. So it was very good, especially if you like chicken and waffles. I didn't love it though. I think they were making a lot. If it was like fresher and hotter, maybe it would be better. I also am like not a super chicken and waffles type of gal, and I did find it quite sweet because again the batter has maple syrup, which is kind of nice. Yeah, like I think a lot of people would like it. I didn't love it. But it's just my palate. It's not because it wasn't good. But the Figment Fantasy Cake. So this is the purple and orange swirled cake. It was so good. I actually couldn't believe how good it was. I was expecting it to be very hard and chalky and the icing to be, again, just kind of hard. But no, it was so light and fluffy, and it was basically a vanilla cake. It was so, so tasty. Then there was the strawberry stuff on the side, and it wasn't like fake strawberry. It was real strawberries cut up in a sauce. And it was one of the best things I've had all day, actually. I couldn't believe how yummy it was. And I took some beautiful pictures. I love them. but I didn't realize that the wings, the Figment's wings actually had an image on it. So the pictures all just have the white of the wings, but I kind of like it that way. So that was a 10 out of 10. Definitely go and try that out. Big shout out to Rachel for recommending trying the popcorn chicken and waffles because it was fun to try. And then as I was there, I saw that they had all these different flavors of lemonade. So I ordered this Figment Imagination lemonade, and it said choice of flavors, which didn't seem that exciting. But then there was like lavender, marshmallow, cupcake, and because there wasn't a long line, I asked if they could like mix the flavors around, and they did, which was really nice. And then he said like, "Oh, what color cup do you want? Pink or blue?" And they looked kind of boring. I didn't really care, but I just said pink, obvs. And it was a color changing cup. It changed with the coldness of the lemonade, which is really cool. And now as I'm drinking it, it also it changes when I like touch it because my hands are warm. So that was actually kind of cool. Okay, so it's 4 o'clock. I was thinking of getting a coffee. The line at Starbucks is a little long. I'm going to check the time for things because I wanted to go and see the costumes. And I just want to see if anything closes. And I was supposed to go to the airport around 7 o'clock. Sorry, I just was using a napkin. But I did find out as I was talking to Kelly that my flight got delayed. And now, rather than leave at 10 p.m., it's leaving after midnight, which isn't great. It's the time I should have been arriving home, but as a night owl, it's not the worst thing in the world. And Epcot closes at 9, which means I don't need to like keep looking at the clock. I actually haven't been because I knew I wasn't close to 7 p.m., but I don't have to look at the clock at all. I just will get an Uber when the park closes at 9, go to the airport and get my flight from there. So that's cool. It's, as I said, 4 o'clock. The sun is moving down. So now that I'm at Connections Cafe, I'm going to go and get my coat before I head for a little nappy nap living with the land. I should actually check the wait times. Give me a second while I open up the app and we can talk about them together. All right. So it says that Soren is 40 minutes, so that's a no. Living at the Land is 15. You know, I've never been on a Journey into the Imagination with Figment. That's only a 5-minute wait, and I think I'm going to go do that because, you know, when at Epcot during Festival of the Arts, it's good to go pay homage to Figment. And yeah, sounds fun. All right, talk to you later. Okay, just went to my locker, got outfit version 2, got my little jean jacket, a light scarf, pair of gloves. Not wearing them, but for later. The sun is definitely setting, so I have a hoodie for later because I will be here now later. And with my extra large locker, like I said, I got it so I had a little like table to set up. And I left a buffet of drinks and cups that I have picked up along the way. So I felt very good for that extra $3. And yeah, now we're just going to head to the rides. Gosh, every time I go into the sun though, I'm like, stay in the sun till it gets really cold. So maybe I'll do the Moana walkthrough before I do the sit-down rides. I'll keep you updated. I just did the Moana walkthrough. I've only done it once, maybe twice before. Once in the daytime and once in the nighttime. It's really beautiful, magical, and educational. It also belongs at Animal Kingdom. But it's not great to do solo because it's so interactive that there's just like a lot of kids and families doing all the interactive things. And I think like if you're a couple of adults or a group of adults, it's kind of easier to like move your way in. But I think that it's maybe a little awkward to be like, sorry kid, I want to play with the water now. I don't know. So because it's a little chilly, there wasn't a lot of people doing it. And so I was able to play with the water all by myself. I didn't need to move the kids along. Also, now that I have a scarf and a coat on, I feel less inclined to go inside to do anything. Again, dress warmly. So I'm going to head towards Figment though and try to do that and not worry about the lines at Living with the Land and Soarin', but I'll wait till the sun goes down a little bit more, which is really just an hour from now. So I am walking towards like Figment or whatever, and I see the Genie's lamp they used outside on 42nd Street where they were playing Aladdin the musical. And so it was like hitting the sun. It was just so gorgeous. And then that's where the exhibit was. So I walked in and my breath was like taken away immediately. They had a set like diorama and then all these costumes, and it was really warm in there. So I said to the cast member, like, are you going to be open until 9 p.m. because that's when the park closes as well, or are you going to close early? And she was so enthusiastically friendly. And she's like, no, we're open to 9 to 9 the whole of the festival. And I was like, okay, great. I'm going to use the sun for the next 20 minutes while it's still out. It's about to go like below the horizon, but I will be back because I just want to spend like an hour here. So I'm actually really excited to go and know that I can like go and hang out there for like, I don't know, 40 minutes of just like looking at these beautiful, beautiful costumes. And I hope you have heard me talk about this before, but in case you haven't, if you like costumes, there are other costumes at the France Pavilion where they have the show. In the lobby of the Beauty and the Beast show, there are actually costumes from movies and some operas, I think, like Cinderella, Maleficent, I believe, as well. And those are really, really cool to look at. So if you aren't here for the Festival of the Arts, no worries. You can see some costumes in the France Pavilion. Okay. Yeah, I have my coat on, and I really just love the sun while we have it. I think I might just like sit with my face facing the sun like a little lizard for a few minutes. So I keep eating. I think this is definitely the most I've ever eaten at a festival, but again, thanks to Patreon for like having some suggestions and things like that for me to try. It's kind of nice to like do it together, I guess. Okay, so I went to the fictional victuals. Sounds kind of weird to say it out loud. This was it said novel dishes inspired by beloved books, but I think it was all like Alice in Wonderland. So I did chapter 1, beach oysters, grilled oysters, mustard seed, peppercorn, sabayon, and cream spinach. You got 3. They were giant. They were good, very spinach forward. I would have them again if I was sharing them with people, but it was a lot for one. Also, I expected them to be cold, and they were not warm. I guess they were warm. They were like lukewarm. So yeah, I was kind of like just expecting a nice cold oyster for like a hot day, even though it's not hot. But anyway, it was good. But like I said, I would share it, and it was a lot. Like the cream spinach, it was a lot. And cream spinach, like I do like spinach, but I don't like frozen spinach, and it just kind of reminded me of frozen spinach. The other one was a tea treat, which was the Twinings Earl Grey Chocolate Pot de Creme, lemon madeleine, rose and raspberry jam, and a tea biscuit crumble. And Crystal on Patreon said, this sounds good, but does it taste good? So I actually wasn't going to order this because I don't know if any of you ever watched Gordon Ramsay's show from like 15 years ago called Hotel Hell, where it was like Kitchen Nightmares, but for hotels. And you went to this one place and they served a half a dessert, and he got very angry about that. So I wasn't going to get it because it reminded me of him yelling at this hotel owner for only giving half a dessert, because it looks like a little teacup, but it's made of chocolate and it's only half of it. So anyway, so I wasn't going to get it for that reason. But when Crystal says, does it taste good? I was like, I'm the perfect person to weigh in on this because I love Earl Grey. I like chocolate. I love rose and raspberry jam. It's like my favorite thing. I love the flavor of rose. So I'm kind of the perfect person to weigh in on this because I love all those things. And it was good. It did not taste like Earl Grey. My favorite was the rose and raspberry jam, but that's because I'm a sucker for rose flavoring. I didn't think the Madeleine was that great. The tea biscuit crumble really didn't taste like anything. So it was cute. It did taste good. That figment cake was way better. I can't believe I'm saying it, but the figment cake was way better. And I definitely think there are better Earl Grey rose desserts out there. Actually, I'm sure of it. And I also would like to try all of them. So if you have an Earl Grey rose dessert that you love and you want me to try, will make it for me. I was going to say send me the recipe, but then I'd have to make it myself. So in spirit, I'm trying it and enjoying it. So does it taste good? Yes, it tastes good. Does it taste great? No, it doesn't taste great. If you like those flavors, you know, it just tastes like chocolate mousse and again, rose flavored gelée, which I really enjoyed. So there you go. The sun is about to go to sleep, but it's not there yet, and I'm enjoying it while I got it. I should say, I also hope you are enjoying these like random, I think I'm going to do this, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, little audio messages put together into one episode. I did this one year, I think the first year I did the podcast, and I thought that even though it might seem kind of banal when I think about it, it might be interesting just like to hear somebody's thought process of like how you're navigating, if for nothing else to know like, oh, like the way I think about it is better or worse or more crazy or less crazy, and like what I would do in this situation. So everything I'm doing today is like perfect for me, but might not work for you, and then you can, you know, plan your own day based on that. I love EPCOT at sunset. It's so beautiful. I mean, usually I'm so hot because the sun is right in your face, but it's really, really lovely. The Broadway performers tonight are from Aladdin. And I think they're the same Broadway performers, or at least the actor who played Aladdin is the same ones I saw when I was here 2 years ago. So I don't plan on making it there to see them. If I'm there and I see them, then that's great, but that's not the plan for this trip. Yeah, it's been a great day. Two more things about the menu at the fictional victuals. This seems weird. They have like a turkey impossible blah 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 as chapter 2. I heard somebody else say that they found it very dry, and I also overheard a cast member just kind of in passing say something like, it's not really vegetarian, like it's not all impossible meat. I didn't get the full thing, but just a heads up if you're vegetarian and you are counting on that to like look more closely at the menu. I also hadn't noticed this when I was planning my menu, but they had it was like an upside down milkshake, and it was cake and Earl Grey tea, and I was like, I love both of those things. Or no, it wasn't Earl Grey, it was just a black tea. So I asked the cast members, and the one cast member was like, it's sweet. I heard it's sweet. I haven't tried it. I heard it's sweet. And I was like, okay. And then I asked the other cast member, and he was like, sweet is an understatement. And I was like, okay, noted. And he said, even the like liquor they put in it is sweet. It's just sugar. So I mean, I didn't get it, but if that's your thing, you can get it. Obviously, I went to Deco Delights and I got the sparkling spectacular gâteau, which is vanilla bean mousse with caramel, apricot jam, and hazelnut cookie. And this is from Rachel on Patreon, so I'm excited to try it. Okay, so that mousse was very good. It was nice and cold, and I bet like caramel can be a very heavy thing if it was hot out, for example. But I found it really, really refreshing. Although I didn't think it was very like Art Deco or sparkling or gâteau like. So gâteau is French for cake, and it was a mousse. So never. The vanilla mousse was nice. It was vanilla, so it was vanilla, you know, like nothing super spectacular was happening there. But then the cookie that it was on was really, really tasty and really, really flavorful, like very cinnamon cake, like a coffee cake. And then when you went through the mousse and you found the caramel, it was like light caramel, and with the vanilla it was really tasty. And then the bite together, it tasted like something you get at like high-end restaurant, and you're like, oh, hey. So it was a must try for Rachel. I would not have tried it without that recommendation, and I very much enjoyed it. One of the things I've really missed about this year's Festival of the Arts is that in previous years when I've come, there have been characters and things like that drawn in secret locations that you can look for. And I just saw one of them, a bear in Canada, but I haven't seen any of the other ones this year. And I don't think they're doing them. Like, I haven't seen them promoted. And they're also doing this new Lorcana game, quest game. And I think I saw that they were doing it during Cool Kids Summer as well, this Lorcana quest game. You know, I'm a little not conflicted. I know exactly where I stand on anything that involves any more like collecting, you know, like Pokemon, Labubus, all these types of things that just like cost a lot of money, have very little overall output. And even though I think you could do this Locana game or whatever for free, I saw a place you could pick things up. I think it is a game that you could play at home by buying cards. So it's just kind of sad that maybe they replaced one for the other. So I do miss the art on the buildings, but I'm heading back to World Showcase right now, and I'll keep an eye out now that it's a little bit later. My belly's very full and I need to digest some. Maybe I'll keep an eye out. Every time I've talked about the sun going down, I thought of not Snow White, The Sound of Music, when they're like, the sun has gone to bed and so must I. So I do feel like the sun has gone to bed. I'm not quite ready for bed. I should say my feet really hurt, not because I've walked so much today, but because although I'm wearing very cute shoes from Adidas, they're Disney Adidas shoes, they do not work well for my feet at all. And I was very worried about that on this trip. I've actually done pretty good because they're bandaged up like a Band-Aid, like a ballerina's feet. But this is actually a gross story. Feel free to fast forward. But the first time I got them, I just wore them without socks because I prefer to wear shoes without socks. And I walked down, it was about a mile to like a popular street in my neighborhood. And when I finished the walk, I looked down and the whole back of the shoe was full of blood because of all the rubbing. It was pretty gross. Apparently it's all come out. Anyway, that's all right. So, although I'm wearing 2 pairs of socks, which I did for both the rubbing, but also because it was going to be cold out. So I wasn't too worried about that. I also have a ton of bandages, but like, they're just not the right shoes for my feet. So I had some Advil with me, but I dropped the container and it went on the ground. So I wish I did have some Advil just to, like every time I stop walking and then I start walking again, I'm like, oh, that feels like a lot. Although let me check my steps right now. How much have we done today? We have done, it says 2 miles, that is wrong. 5 miles, 13,000 steps. Yesterday was 4 miles. Feels like more than that, but it's only a mile around World Showcase. It feels a lot more, but it's only a mile. Okay, so I guess I was just being grumpy about colonialism. Not colonialism. I mean, I am very grumpy about colonialism. Grumpy about capitalism because I did see some of those characters in the couple pavilions that I passed. I saw Peter Pan at England, and I saw Remy and the Aristocats in France. I was going to go and do more in World Showcase, but now I want to go do the rides and give myself enough time to go and see the costumes. I was going to go and do this, like, try this crab thing at the France Pavilion, but I've eaten a lot, and I don't know if, like, more crab and cheese is really the right thing. There is, like, another crab thing, I think, that's close to like the main pavilion, like the Connections Cafe, not in the cafe, but beside it. So I'm going to shoot for that. And there's another dessert that I'm thinking that I'll go and try. The other thing I've been thinking about is, like, I need to get an Uber to the airport. And it's one thing to get it, like, now at 7 p.m. when it's not going to be that busy. It's another thing at park close. So I was like, okay, do I go and get an Uber from EPCOT, but it's going to be packed full of people to get an Uber, or do I walk over to, like, the boardwalk or yacht club or whatever and get an Uber from there? So I was like, walking or crowds, which one am I dealing with? And then I thought, oh, I could just take a bus to another resort. It actually doesn't really matter because I have enough time, and then get a bus from that resort. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And that way I don't have to, like, walk back through EPCOT to get to one of those hotels. So I have about an hour and a half left here at the park. I'm going to go do those couple rides. And I tried to do single rider at Remy's. It was an hour wait, just regular, but it felt like it was going to be about an hour wait for single rider, maybe 45 minutes. And I just wasn't interested in waiting. So I'm going to go check the other rides, see if there is less of a wait there. Go see the costumes, get some things to eat around that area, and then call it a day. What a wonderful day. Hello. So I just tried the the mini nitro cake pop from Swirls on the Water. They also had this really, really cute Figment ice cream cone. I saw other people with it. A large waffle cone, purple ice cream, the wings. It's way too cold to eat ice cream, but it was super, super cute. So I had the cake pop because Patreon wanted me to try it. They said it looks so fun, and it definitely looks fun. I wouldn't say there's a lot of depth of flavor to it. It's not anything I would eat again, but cake pop. What was cool was that when the music, Fango Boys, 1998. What was cool was every time I took a bite, it was like a different color, so it was a little surprise. And it has enough sugar that gave me a little extra boost. It's about 7 o'clock now. I went back to do rides and then wanted to give myself a lot of time to do the costume exhibit. I went to the pub, the Rose and Crown, which I don't normally go to because I wanted to get an iced tea. In the pub, when you sit down, the iced tea that they have is a Lady Earl Grey, which I love. So I just wanted an iced tea. I thought that would help with caffeine. And there were these men behind me, and they're like, "Oh, finally, this is exactly my speed." And I should just say that standing in a pub trying to get the eye of a bartender is not my speed. When I flagged the bartender, he made this joke, "Don't worry, I'll get to you." And I was like, ugh. Gross. I hate this. I don't want to play games with children or people drinking alcohol. It was just such a different vibe. So I excused myself, maybe a little bit rudely, but I don't think anyone would have noticed rude in there. And now I'm about to journey into the imagination with Figment. Never done it before. Wish me luck. Have the energy of some cake pop to get me through this wonderland. So I just did Figment for the first time. It was really cute. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. I was expecting a lot more of a fever dream. That was totally kind of normal. It really, really reminded me of just old school Disney, old school EPCOT, the Muppets 3D, the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, activity. Yeah, it really wasn't nostalgic to me. It wasn't my memories, but it really hit this nostalgic, the Disney that once was. And also, again, I only really know Figment from merchandising and from the Festival of the Arts and the Popcorn Pockets and all that stuff. And so I didn't really know him as a character. And as a character, he actually really surprised me, seeing it. And I don't know, there were so many elements of the ride and the character that I'm surprised they don't take more advantage of. I'm also just looked up at the sky, and there's so many beautiful stars. And one of the things I like to do is to always look at the moon when I'm here. It's not quite half right now, but anyway, it's quite beautiful. Hey, this is Samantha from the editing booth. Okay, so I did Figment, and then I went to check to see if I could do Living with the Land. I wasn't planning on doing a nap. I feel like that cake pop really got my energy going. I could see the line in Living with the Land, which means there was a line. And it said that there were 25 minutes for Soarin'. And for some people, Soarin' is a key ride for them. And it really wasn't for me. It isn't for me. But when I walked into EPCOT that day, I just thought to myself, I really want to do Soarin' today. There was just the energy of it. I think, the weightlessness and everything. So it said 25 minutes, and I thought, okay, I can do 25 minutes. But actually, it was basically a walk-on. I checked my phone, like the clock on my phone, and it was 7 minutes from the time I walked in to the time I was sitting there. So that was really, really perfect. And then I left the land pavilion and went over to the Broadway exhibit. I just keep saying costume exhibit. So just to give more context, there was an exhibit in the Communicore Hall for different Broadway costumes and props and things like that. And I missed it last year, and I really felt bad about that. So I I don't know if you hear that noise in the background with my cat. So I really, really wanted to see it. So I did the exhibit. I'm going to tell you about that right now. But then the music drew me out, and I ordered food and started dancing, and I didn't record anything from the Soarin' experience or the exhibit experience, and that's why I'm coming on from the editing bay and letting you know about the exhibit, because it was really, really awesome. I should just say too, like, I'm an hour into the episode, and it's definitely not the best sound quality throughout, because there's all the background noise from the park, but I hope you're enjoying if you've made it this long. So let me tell you about this Broadway exhibit. So first, Communicore Hall, I think we can all agree, is a bit of a bust. I mean, it really just feels like a high school cafeteria. And I am so, so impressed with this particular exhibit. And when I was in the exhibit, all I could think of is, why is there not more of this? I've talked in the past about how there are exhibits in every country in the World Showcase, and that they used to change regularly, and they haven't changed since COVID. And I've really missed that, and I think it's a shame. And when I was in this exhibit, I was like, yes, it's a shame, because there is the talent and attention to detail on the Disney team that can really, and the archives, access to archives that allow for these types of immersive exhibits. So if you love Broadway and costumes and miniatures and design and storytelling and just curation, this is a really, really cool exhibit. So what's great about the design is that you can enter from either door, and you feel like you're entering in the front. I entered in from where there is the genie lamp from 42nd Street on Broadway, and you walk in and you see 3 gorgeous yellow ball gowns of Belle's. And if you read the notes, it says that it is from the Broadway, not the Broadway production, the stage production of Beauty and the Beast. And they wanted to show the differences. Sorry, I have a very hyper cat right now who's very happy I'm home, to show the differences, cultural differences in how they do these designs. So there was an Australia ball gown that had a high neck. I thought it was kind of ugly. And then there was one from Singapore, maybe Hong Kong, that had this just beautiful beading detail with red not flowers, birds just kind of brought in, and it was just so, so gorgeous. On the other wall, they had the actual miniature of the stage for the touring production of Beauty and the Beast. And like, I think that, I lived in the States for a little bit when I was in grade 5, 6, and half of grade 7. And so I know that a lot of schools in the States do like to stream students in particular avenues. And I think if I had stayed in the States, I definitely would have been more heavily streamed into theater. So it's kind of cool to see these sets, because I just like know that is where my love is, even though I don't like do a lot of that stuff now. And it was just really cool. And I love like seeing the wings, for example, and all the things that they are storing in the wings, and just like how a stage production is designed. They had 2 other costumes of Belle's, which were cool to look at. One of them looks like it's embroidered, but then because you can see it so closely, you see that it's not embroidered. And that was kind of an interesting detail. Then there was this 3-part, I don't even know what it's called. This 3-part, I'm going to say display, which is inaccurate. That was so brilliant in its curation, because you could look at it individually and learn something from all 3 parts, but it actually told one coherent story. So if you had the time and the space and the inclination, you could sit there and learn the whole story. So the first part was like a recreated area of a stage manager's desk behind the scenes. It showed the different monitors where the performers would be, and then you could hear audio of a stage manager calling out lighting cues. Then the next panel over was a video playing of a touring production of Beauty and the Beast that took place in Texas. And if you listened, the cues from the stage manager aligned with what you were looking at. And then the third part was like the wings of the stage with a whole bunch of different props from the show. So I experienced it both in piecemeal and all together, just because of, the crowds and things like that. And I just thought it was so well done. And, like when I was saying that they recreated the stage manager's desk, it was like flyers from previous productions that you can imagine the stage manager had been a part of, other little chalk messages that could be inside jokes. And it was just so well done. And then I should also say that the video of the production was from the wings perspective. So you could, again, see the actors come on and off the stage, and very cool. Beside this kind of 3-part display was another display that was a little bit higher up of a recreated makeup artist station for Beauty and the Beast. And in where would be the mirror was actually a video playing of a makeup artist putting on the prosthetics for the Beast. And again, the attention to detail of this makeup artist desks were just amazing. There was a little bulletin board with somebody's dogs, pictures of somebody's dogs hung up. There were wet naps that looked like someone had just pulled from it. It was just so well done. And then along one wall was a whole wall of wigs, and just really great. So that was all the Beauty and the Beast stuff. Then there was quite a lot of stuff from Lion King. This wasn't curated and set up in the same way Beauty and the Beast was, because it didn't need to. The costumes and the props from The Lion King is already so immersive and detailed that just looking at these masks and the costumes, you don't need pictures of somebody's dogs to understand this world that they're putting you in. And again, just really beautiful. I saw The Lion King, I've seen it twice, I guess, and I saw it this summer with my niece. And to be honest, I recognize why it was groundbreaking. I do feel like it looks a little dated now, the color scheme, but you have to put respect on these costumes. And so to be able to see them close up, after just seeing it a few months ago, I thought it was really amazing. They also have this set piece right at the beginning of Pride Rock, so you can see it from a 360 perspective. You can walk all around it. And then along another wall is just a display of all these different costumes from different shows. Hercules, Newsies, Mary Poppins, Frozen. And what I thought was really cool was that you could see that the same costume designer actually really worked on many of these shows. I thought that was a really nice touch. Finally, they had the genie's costume from Aladdin, and they also had a prop genie's lamp, which you could take pictures with. And I thought that was really awesome. So I love that. Now, while I was standing at looking at all the costumes on my way out, I just started to hear some disco, some 90s music outside, and I knew it was on the stage where they do the Mirabelle sing-along. And I was like, well, I'm not going to go in and dance. I'm here by myself. That's kind of weird. It's just like a DJ. It's not live music or whatever. But then the music just kept drawing me out. So I was like, well, just go listen to the music. Just go listen to it. So I went out and I went to Opening Bites, and I think I recorded me talking about this food. I went and I picked up a couple things, and I'm just going to eat them, and I'm going to take some pictures and just listen to the music. And That's fine. And I was also really thinking about you solos and the episode that I did for New Year's, where I was talking about one of my dreams was to go to EPCOT for New Year's and just like dance in all the world pavilions with all the different DJs. And I was just thinking, like, here I was on the podcast saying, like, look for other opportunities to do these things that you feel like you could do at Disney. And here I was at Disney. It wasn't New Year's, but there was still this opportunity and I wasn't even taking it. So like the music just took me, and so I'll splice back in now the voice recordings from the rest of the evening. I also want to say that in the spirit of like finding things to do that are inspired by Disney, I actually have connected with a couple people who live in Toronto through the podcast, and one person and I are actually going to go dancing to a 90s night, and it's called Home by 11 p.m. It starts at 7, it ends at 11, and we're going to go in March to like a 90s night to go dancing. So I did that because of you, because I said it on the podcast, and I think it will be really fun. And I think if you remember that podcast episode too, I was like, I'm sure I can find some like old lady dancing things to do here in Toronto. And then it came to me. So manifest the I'm going to use a swear word. Manifest the shit out of your life. And yes, it includes some Disney things, but make sure you like do that longer thinking about what is it about the Disney of it that you can do at Disney, you're experiencing at Disney, and see if you can get to that kernel of it in order to try to create more of that magic in your everyday life. More in a bit. I just want this song behind me because this is like the perfect way to end such a great day. Yeah, I'll record more soon. So you might hear Rainbow Connection behind me, which might be the best way for you to end. But that was okay. So I'll talk more about the costumes in a second. I just really want to capture that energy. So I did the costume exhibit. It was great. I just really wish there was like more of that interactive, archival curation of other exhibits, just generally. So I really loved it, and they could hear the music out. There's a DJ that comes and plays like where they do the Encanto sing along. And there was one more booth I thought, okay, I'll try. And it was a soft shell crab on a bun. And then there was a rose mousse. And the rose mousse was glittery. And it was like in a bell jar. So it was like an actual like Beauty and the Beast, like rose in a bell jar. And it was like as glittery as the vanilla gâteau was not glittery. And soft shell crab on a bun, so tasty, so delicious. You know, you can't get that everywhere. And then the DJ was out and he was playing music, and the last song was Boogie Wonderland and then Last Dance, and I just like got up and danced, and it was so wonderful. It was just an amazing way to end. Like, it encapsulated everything I love about Disney: attention to detail, curation, like in the exhibit, interesting food, again, attention to detail with the food, an atmosphere that you can be like a kid and, you know, really get up and personal with the costumes from these shows that you may, you know, have a lot of memories with, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, the stage shows, and then go and like do adult things like go and dance, and just a really great way to end. I like feel like such a wonderful energy. I feel like I should end the episode here, and I think I will. I'm going back to my locker now to get my stuff, and I'm on such a high that like, let's just, you can leave my evening there, and I'll just do a little addendum when I get on the plane and let you know how it goes. But I hope you enjoyed my day. It was great. I'm so happy I did this. When did I think that I was so close to canceling the trip, like hours away from canceling the trip, then and to think about being here and all the things I got to experience and eat and the sun, and it was really, really great. And like, yeah, it's chilly. I'm excited to go put my extra hoodie on and I'm going to take a bus to a hotel and wait out there before I go to the hotel. But great day, really great day, and I hope you enjoyed following along with me. Hey Solos, it's Samantha. I hope you enjoyed this episode and all the episodes of Disney Solo Magic, the #1 podcast for solo travel to Disney World. You can reach me on all of the different social media. All of those links are in this description below. You can also listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, and on YouTube. It'd be really great if you rated, reviewed, and subscribed. It's really a wonderful way to let other people know about the podcast. And as you know, we also have a Patreon where you can get bonus content, you can get bonus episodes, you can get all of the videos of us doing the solo stories, and a whole bunch more. So come and join us on Patreon. And thanks again for listening to the podcast. Bye.